Wake up in the morning. Wake up, Atlanta. It's time for coffee. Talk presented by Spotify. Fresh vibes, real talk.
Let's get started, shall we?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Boy, howdy, we made it towards the midweek, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another exciting podcast here today. This is Coffee Talk, powered and presented by Spotify here at Studio Latte. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another exciting episode of the podcast. I am one of your humble podcast host for Coffee Talk presented by Spotify, K.L.P. Kennedy Lucas. And boy, howdy, do we have a packed show for you guys today. Of course, we got Rachel, we got Sarah, we got Marcus, we got Hope in the building too to give us their latest story. We hope that everyone enjoyed yesterday's episode. Fantastic episode as well. I get very giddy when these shows come on to platforms, and a lot of people, a lot of people say they love the show, so all of the shows that we do, Hope and Audience. So I thank y'all so very much in advance. uh this has been a blessing. Each time I've turned these cameras on and turned the mic on, it's always a blessing to come and do a podcast. So we hope that everyone is ready for this one. I'm happy to present another episode for you guys as well. Happy Wednesday. I'm sure a lot of people got their Wednesday, got their coffee, got their midway week ready. I know a lot of things have been going on podcast for us, and also on the technical side, a lot of things going on. I got a big event on Friday, which it's going to be, we're shutting down the studio part on Thursday and Friday because we've just got so much to do technical wise for this big event on Friday. It is a gala that we are programming, so it's a lot going on when it comes down to the other side of Kennedy Lucas Patterson and his workingness. But we hope that everyone enjoyed the podcast so far. Again, please, hopefully you guys didn't miss it. What had happened was podcast is coming this week. Of course, we've got what we normally do is we pre-recorded 2 episodes for what had happened was, and I guess we can kind of announce this, Hope and audience. It's not going to affect Coffee Talk that much, but it might affect what had happened was, and it's not bad news. We're not canceling the show. The show is still going on. We're going to give you guys the 2 episodes, but the studio, we're moving. So the studio will be moved to a different location. So after the 2 recorded sessions that we do, we are switching studios. I'm doing double moving, actually. We're switching studios for that show, and then I'm also moving personally. So, and that's coming up in about 2 weeks or so. So, for everybody who loved what happened was, again, you still get 2 new episodes. But the reason why I'm announcing that on this episode of this podcast, because after those 2 episodes are up, we are shifting gears and moving studios. We can't promise that we'll be back on our normal schedule time that we do. Possibly, maybe, it just depends because it's a lot of moving. We're moving that studio, and then I'm moving personally, so I'm moving twice. So it's a lot of moving that I'm doing. So I can't guarantee it, but we'll try our best. With what had happened was, Coffee Talk's not really going to be solely affected when it comes down to this show. I am moving the first of the month, so it's going to be where I might need a week off from podcasting. So, because I got to pack my stuff up and just focus on that, because there's a lot when it comes down to moving. So, stay tuned for that. The just conflict schedule. Stay tuned for that as well. So, like I say, I mentioned we got a pack show. We hope that you guys are ready for it. Yesterday was St. Patty's Day. We hope if you celebrate St. Patrick's Day, hoorah. Of course, I participated in St. Patrick's Day. I did wear a green shirt and one of my green shoes. And I saw it today saw it yesterday rather, that a lot of people participated in St. Patrick's Day. Of course, everybody in the offices, they participated in St. Patty's Day. And then after our office hours in our office, I ended up going to the gym. Shout out to Crunch Snellville. All the trainers had their green on. It's just good. It feels good when they participate in something like that. A lot of people looking good in that green. So happy St. Patty's Day if you celebrate that kind of thing. Believe it or not, my last name, because a lot of people think my last name is Lucas. No, my last name is Patterson. And believe it or not, Patterson's kind of an Irish name. So we kind of dabble a little bit in the Irish tradition. So we hope that everyone had a great St. Patrick's Day. If you are Irish, you probably have celebrated. You're probably up trying to watch the show because you probably partied too hard last night. If you are Irish, you want to go out and celebrate and do some drinking and just celebrate the green and gold when it comes down to St. Patrick's Day. So to everybody who celebrated, happy St. Patrick's Day. Really, really good to participate in something like that. Is really, really, really amazing. Okay, so let me open my notes here because I got to have my notes rolling for the podcast topics as well. I have quite a few interesting topics that I wanted to talk about. And this first one, I like to do a little hot take. Um, and I only say this because I'm not hating, right? I've learned to not hate on this topic because I am kind of a gym influencer as well. Kinda. I can't say that I'm a huge gym influencer for social media. Some people are gym influencers and that's their job. I do not consider that as I couldn't do that as a full time. No judgment on everybody who are gym influencers. I personally just couldn't do it because my body is at a certain physique that I'm okay with. A lot of male gym influencers, they're really buff, they're gigantic, they're huge, they're muscular, they have a sort of specific training method that they do that I probably could do. I just don't want to do because I do eat, right? I do a lot of things that are not in a gym influencer's plan, and I think my plan of how I work out and I get my strength back and get the swollenness because I'm losing weight and getting more swoller. I do what works for me, right? I think a lot of trainers, again, it's no or trainers or influencers, they look at people and they think that everybody's supposed to do what they're doing, and that's not always the case, right? Kudos to the trainers. Kudos to the influencers. Some people do it. I post my gym videos and my gym stuff just for fun. I don't post it to make money. I don't post it to get the attraction. I post it because number one, it's like a blog diary for me for when I weigh 200 and some pounds down to a little under 200 pounds now with muscle, losing weight. And you can see it, the significant changes that I've had losing the weight. So it's one of those things that, um, what I do in the gym is what's good for me. I know a lot of trainers at my gym, they always ask me about my Kickstart because Crunch does this Kickstart bootcamp thing. And I get the idea of it, I get the premise of it. And I tell a lot of trainers that try to persuade me to do that. When I'm in the gym, I'm in my world, right? I'm in my world, I'm in my headphones. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just had a full long day of work. I just want to work out in peace. And it's not to say that I don't like to talk to anybody because every time I'm in the gym, I'm dabbing it up to the trainers. I'm saying hey to everybody that I know in there. So it's not that I want to be antisocial, right? It's just I don't want to be trained and being told what to do in my workout routine when I'm just trying to listen to music and do my own thing, right? It's nothing personal. Um, so I've noticed, and it might have been the algorithm for my Facebook and TikTok. I noticed that a lot of girls and men too. I'm saying for both because I don't like to pick on my woman so much. But there are a lots of gym influencers that do some things that are a little bit like, huh, I see why you do that. And what I mean by that, I don't judge. I don't. Because I know a lot of the ladies and men, they do OnlyFans, right? I know that the girly girl, the gym girlies, they got to do the content, right? Because they might be sponsored by a brand, right? I've seen a lot of female and male gym influencers lately because they were at the Arnold convention. If you guys know what the Arnold convention is, it's a convention for people who are gym rats. Right. And I'm one of them. Right. I'm not ashamed to say I'm a gym rat, but that is kind of the convention where you get to meet other gym heavy lifters and gym rats and you get to network and collab. That part I understand. But it seems to me, and this is just kind of like a sociology type of topic. Again, I don't, I'm watching what I say because I don't want to say something and then somebody who's watching the show, they might feel a little bit defended about it or offended about it. I'm not offending my ladies who are gym influencers, right? I get that you do it. I get that you got to do it. I am of the belief that some women and men, we post For the women's side, some women post for male validation. From the men's side, I think some of us post for the female validation. Now, when I post on social media about a gym post, I don't search for that female validation. If you guys notice in my captions, what I do is I say a prayer. I think prayer is the most powerful thing that any human can do. Act of prayer, learning how to pray correctly when the gym. I pray when before I start a workout because you're working with heavy machines, you're working with some objects that could hurt you, that could harm you, right? That's why I post. I've been seeing a lot of gym influencers where it's a lot of lust. Ladies, let me pick on y'all for a minute. And I'm not picking on y'all because I'm potting right now. But I see a lot of ladies that first and foremost, some of them they're working on ass, right? I'm not hating because I get it. I get the attraction. But every gym post that I've seen on TikTok, it's a girl that's training that all you see is ass. And I'm trying to understand it because it's ass after ass after ass. It's squats, it's leg PRs, it's a forward leg PR. It's hey, I'm wearing these too tight shorts or leggings. Again, I'm not hating, but I'm doing a squat and the camera is positioned to where you get to clearly see a full thing of ass. And I saw this other TikTok of this guy, and he said, "Ladies, there's more workouts you can do than just working out ass." I'm sorry to keep saying that, but it's a funny word. And I saw this other gym influencer. Her name is Isabel Yvonne, and she's awesome, right? She's awesome. She's such a sweetheart. I don't know her personally. Obviously, she's I think she's in Austria, so she's not of the USA, right? But baby girl, I know what you're doing. If you see her TikTok and you see her Instagram, she starts with, again, I'm not hating, but she starts with, when she starts her post, it's her in her panties, right? Her in her undergarments and a sports bra, but then she puts on her gym clothes and she it's a lot of ass when she do her Instagram. Again, I'm not hating on it, but why is it that some ladies have to do that? Right? Why? Right? I'll never understand it. Is sociology, is psychology. Why do ladies do that? Right? Because let me tell you why what I think. And then I'm not trying to get gross on the show, but this is what men think. And I'm speaking to the ladies now. Again, I'm not hating on the ladies, but this is from a man's point of view. Let me tell you how I feel. And I'm learning to, as a man of God, I'm learning to not self-pleasure, right? Because that's a form of sin, right? It's hard. I'm not gonna say it. I like to be transparent on my show. It's hard, right? When you see a lot of that, you have the temptation. Now it's up to you as a man of God to fight that temptation. But from a man's point of view, when you see things like that, you can't help but want to go to your bathroom or your bedroom, close the door with the sock on it, and you want to jerk off. You can't help it. Because you've got gym influencers that's doing some lust like that. You can't you have the urge to want to do that. But then I saw, and not picking on Isabel Yvonne, because she's a great influencer. She's a great social media content creator. But like, she posted on a story that one of her followers, one of the trolls said, "Hey, why are you crying? You're sad because you're a web slut, right? You do things like that, honey." And I'm not calling her a slut, but you do things like that on on the internet. Like, I know the type of panties you wear now, right? I personally would never post any type of content of me showing my undergarments because you know what kind of underwear I wear now. Like, I'd never do that. There's a lot of gym influencers that they're getting more exposed. They're showing a little bit more, and they're showing it for free. Now, if you do OnlyFans, look, it's a business. I'm not gonna knock you. I think you shouldn't. right? Because once you have OnlyFans and you try to work these corporate jobs, it's a little tough, right? It's a little tough because they're gonna find your OnlyFans, and that's a good way you can get fired, right? I wouldn't recommend it. I don't do OnlyFans. I think there's other ways to make money, but I'm not going to shame people who do it because a lot of people do it because that is their source of income. I do say to a lot of people, if you do OnlyFans, please be careful, right? There's a lot of creeps out there. But a lot of these ladies are doing it damn near for free now because it's free for TikTok. It's free on Instagram. So why would I pay $10 a month for your OnlyFans if you're giving it away for free? Now I don't encourage people to do OnlyFans, right? But I'm not shaming you if you do because that's a source of income. Um, but a lot of gym influencers, I will say, I do think we are kind of forgetting when gym influencers first came out. They showed them working out. They showed them doing all kinds of exercises and diets and blogging this stuff and becoming nutritions, right? Becoming trainers, becoming personal trainers, becoming that icon of training. I think a lot of us, and then I'm not, again, this is men do this too, because men, they show their abs, but then they show their underwear, and then they're damn near naked, right? Doing some lustful content now. I think we're kind of forgetting what it means to be a true gym influencers, right? And I hate that we are forgetting that. We are. I think it's a lot of lust now. It's a lot of sexual innuendos that these gym influencers are giving away for free because now that's the attraction, that's the viewers, that's the clicks, that's the likes. If you get a million eyes on your post on Instagram, now you're making money, but really for peanuts, really, instead of going at it a different way to where you can make money, but you can be not lustful. Again, I don't shame gym influencers for showing their progress or being uh, damn near showing their private parts for free on the internet because again, I'm not a person of judgment, right? I just wish that gym influencing, I wish that it changed. I wish it went back to the roots of the issue. And I wish it was just true gym influencers. I would say when I post on Instagram, some people think I'm a gym influencer. I'm not. But when I post, I look at the guys, I target the guys who have been husky and got more of a peacock build. I would say to myself that my body type is more of a peacock feel. Like I'm and believe it or not, I'm getting the abs and the muscles and the arms and looking good, but I'm not shredded. At least not yet. I target the guys who were husky, but has more of a huskier, muscular build. That's my target audience. If I were a gym influencers, right? I just kind of wish there was a certain type of gym influencing. Let's say if you've got the skinny, ripped girl, let her target audience be the skinny but ripped girl. Or if you got the curvy gym goer, that's the curvy gym rat that just a little bit more curvier than most, target the more curvier woman. Same thing with my men. Like if you are a big guy and you're shredded, that's your target audience. But if you are husky built, husky muscular built, let that be your target audience. I wish gym influencers cater a little bit more to their specific groups. And I sometimes do wish that we could stop the lustful content, right? And again, I'm not just picking on Isabel Yvonne because again, I think she's an amazing content creator. I've seen her YouTube; she's a sweetheart. But you don't have to show me your panties to show that you work out. Just work out, right? You don't have to show me your ass and to see that pink that white lingerie with the flowers on it. I don't need to see that to know that you work out. And it's I think there's a lot of content creators, gym influencers like Isabel Yvonne that does that. Like, honey, you don't have to do that, right? You don't. Um, I think it's interesting. It's an interesting dynamic that we're on. I think a lot of ladies do that and a lot of ladies and men they do it in their swimwear and think, what's the problem? It's just swimwear. But no, not from a man's imagination, right? A man's imagination is one hell of a thing, right? I've seen if a girl posting some very sexual innuendos of their swimsuit, they think, oh, there's nothing wrong because it's a swimsuit. But you got a top and a bottom. That look for a man's imagination. I can imagine that's your bra and panties, and then I just want to go play with myself, right? So you just got to think about it. It's just, yeah, man, people got some, we got some imaginations. Now, I'm not thinking about that, but there are some imagination when it comes down to stuff like that. So I just wish we changed the way we influence in the gym, but I know it's not going to change. I can't make that change. Um, it's there to stay. Like again, it's if I doubt Isabel Yvonne's watching this podcast, but if she is, it's not me picking on her. It's just these are the things from a man's point of view we notice, and it's like, okay, if you want to do this, cool, but don't get upset when people call you slut and whore. Oh, you're just a little that hole over there. Thought, oh, you're just something that I can beat my meat to. Don't be upset because you're giving us that content. So, you know, but shout out to the gym influencers. I guess hey, if that's your thing, we just got to get to the root of the problem. And speaking of root, of course, the Roots Picnic is back, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you guys don't know what the Roots Picnic is, that is a big festival for us, by us. The Roots Picnic is kind of like a big festival. It is getting ready for festival season. We're touching spring, and now spring is where you get a lot of the festivals going on, and it's festival season, and it leads into like Burning Man, Rolling Stone. I heard that Dreamville is no longer happening, which is sad, to a lot of people who love Dreamville Festival. But we're getting ready to a lot of festivals, and I'm very excited because the hot headlines was Jay Z and the Roots. They're going to be headlining the Roots Picnic 2026. I'm happy about this. Big Jay Z fan. Big Jay Z fan. This gets me excited for Jay Z because if he's performing at a festival, billionaire, he don't have to do anything anymore, right? This led me to believe, and I'm very wishful thinking, ladies and gentlemen, that Jay Z got a new album coming. I hope Jay Z made his money, right? I want to see a new Jay Z product. I think all the blueprints were good. The Black Album was amazing. Didn't really care for Magna Carta that much. I did like 444. I liked that album. It was very interesting to me. Um, I look forward to an American Gangster. That's actually my favorite from Jay Z. American Gangster, inspired by the movie. Love the movie. I am led to believe that Jay Z got, and I'm hopeful, a new album coming, right? Because it makes sense that if an artist got something new coming, whether it's a new song or a new album or even an EP, and Jay Z really don't do EPs. He's either going to do a single or he's going to do an album. I am on the suspicion that he's got something cooking, and he's kind of rolling this thing out. I can't wait for it. I can't wait to see how good because Jay Z can perform. He's a good MC. He's one of the greats in my opinion. In my book, he's one of the greats. And I look forward to Jay Z performing. It's been a while since he's been performing on as a rap artist. I think he's trying to getting that spark back because now you've got that Beyonce is still cooking music. I think it's time for Jay Z to come on back because I don't think he's officially retired. I know he's CEO, he's businessman, right? When you become a businessman, you don't have time for your craft stuff. But I think this is the time that we need it. Ti is making a comeback for his last album. A lot of the older OGs are coming back for that one last spark. And honestly, I think Jay Z can come back for that at least that one last spark before he becomes back into the business side. I'm very excited for it. The Roots Picnic again is for us by us. This is one of those festivals that a lot of hip hop is going to be there. I know a lot of black podcasters are going to be there at the Roots Picnic 2026 because it's for us by us. It is a picnic that hip hop get to groom and to show their roots, pun intended. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see all these newer acts coming out. I can't wait to see the OG acts come out, and they're gonna make a ton of money for this picnic. I look forward to Jay Z. I think Ti is gonna be there because Ti is getting ready for that last album rollout. So it's going to be exciting. Jay Z is the guy to do it. And I honestly do think Jay Z They got that. He got a new album coming. I'm willing to place $10 on it. Jay-Z got the new album coming. So we're gonna turn it over to Hope, and then Rachel and Sarah and Marcus for Coffee Talk presented by Spotify. I'll be back to close the show. Stay tuned. Take it away, Hope.
Wake up, y'all!
It is now time for the front page news of the day on Coffee Talk presented by Spotify.
Yeah!
Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. This is the front page news on Coffee Talk presented by Spotify. David, did you know that hip-hop is now the most consumed music genre in the United States? It's officially overtaken rock, and that shift says so much about how culture is evolving. That's wild, but honestly, it makes sense. Hip-hop isn't just music, it's a cultural force. It's influencing everything from fashion to politics to the way we talk.
Exactly. And today we're diving into how platforms like Hot New Hip Hop are shaping the way we experience this cultural phenomenon. They're not just reporting on the music, they're giving us a window into the lives, the drama, and the stories behind the artists.
Right? And it's not just about the big names anymore. These platforms are also giving a voice to up-and-coming artists, which is so important in a genre that's always been about storytelling and authenticity.
That's such a good point. Hip hop has always been about giving a voice to the voiceless, and platforms like Hot New Hip Hop are continuing that tradition in a really modern way.
And it's not just the music either. They're covering everything: fashion, lifestyle, social issues. Hip hop is so much more than just a genre. It's a way of life.
Absolutely. And that's why it's so fascinating to see how platforms like this are shaping the conversation. They're not just reporting the news, they're part of the culture.
So true. And speaking of shaping the conversation, let's talk about how hip-hop has evolved over the years.
Oh, it's changed so much. I mean, it started as this underground movement in the Bronx, and now it's a global phenomenon.
It's incredible, isn't it? And with that growth, the way we consume hip-hop has changed too. Remember when you had to wait for your favorite song to come on the radio?
Oh, totally. Or you'd have to buy an entire album just to hear one song you liked.
Right, and now, with streaming and social media, it's all at your fingertips.
Exactly. And that instant access has really changed the game. It's made it easier for artists to connect with their fans and for fans to stay updated on what's happening.
Totally. And platforms like Hot New Hip Hop have really embraced that. They're not just reporting the news, they're creating a space for fans to engage with the culture.
Yes. And I think that's what makes it so special. It's not just about the music, it's about the community.
Absolutely. And speaking of community, let's talk about how hip hop has brought people together over the years.
Oh, it's been such a unifying force. It's given people a way to express themselves and connect with others who share their experiences.
Exactly. And it's not just about the artists, it's about the fans too. They're such a big part of what makes hip hop so powerful.
Totally. And I think that's why platforms like Hot New Hip Hop are so important. They're giving fans a way to be part of the conversation and stay connected to the culture.
Yes, and they're doing it in a way that's authentic and engaging.
Absolutely. And that authenticity is so important, especially in a genre like hip hop, where it's all about keeping it real.
Exactly, and I think that's why people keep coming back to platforms like Hot New Hip Hop. They know they're going to get the real story, not just the headlines.
So true. And I think that's a great note to end on. Hip hop is all about authenticity, and platforms like Hot New Hip Hop are helping to keep that alive.
Absolutely. It's been great talking about this with you.
Same here. Until next time.
Until next time.
Turn it up. They shoot. They score. Top of the hour sports talk on Coffee Talk. Presented by Spotify.
We back.
We don't give a fuck.
Good morning, everyone. This is Coffee Talk presented by Spotify. Okay, Sarah, so here's something wild. Did you know that Michaela Blakes from Vanderbilt is averaging 30.5 points per game in SEC play? That's not just impressive, it's historic for a sophomore.
Oh, wow, that's incredible. And in the SEC, no less, where defenses are some of the toughest in the country. She's really setting herself apart this season.
Exactly. And what's even more exciting is that she's just one of several young guards who are stepping up in a big way this year. March Madness is always about those breakout performances, and I feel like we're going to see a lot of them from this group.
Absolutely. Guard play is so critical in the tournament, and this year's crop of sophomores and freshmen is just loaded with talent. Let's start with Michaela Blake since you brought her up. What makes her so special?
Well, for starters, she's a scoring machine. She's averaging 27 points per game overall, and she's had some absolutely jaw-dropping performances like that 34-point game against Oklahoma where she shot 13 of 23 from the field. She's got this Kelsey Plum vibe, just relentless and capable of scoring from anywhere on the court.
That's a great comparison. And what I love about her is how she thrives under pressure. She had a 55-point game as a freshman, which is just insane. Plus, she's coming into this tournament with something to prove after Vanderbilt's early exit last year.
Right, that overtime loss to Oregon in the first round must still sting. But you can tell she's hungry to show what she and Vanderbilt are capable of. Now, let's talk about another standout sophomore, Jeloni Cambridge from Ohio State. She's been incredible this season.
Oh, without a doubt. Jeloni Cambridge is the definition of a complete player. She's averaging 22.8 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 4.6 assists per game. And her ability to score and distribute makes her such a valuable asset for Ohio State.
Absolutely. And her 41-point game against Illinois was just unreal. She's got that killer instinct, much like Kelsey Mitchell, who's a Buckeyes legend. Jeloni is following in some big footsteps, but she's carving out her own legacy.
For sure. And what's really impressive is how well-rounded her game is. She's not just a scorer. She's a playmaker and a defender. 13 games with 6 or more assists this season, that's incredible. And let's not forget her sister, Kennedy Cambridge, who's also a key part of Ohio State's defense. That family is just brimming with talent.
No kidding. It's going to be exciting to see how far she can take Ohio State in the tournament. Speaking of players with big roles, how about Olivia Olson from Michigan? She's another sophomore who's been making waves this season.
Olivia Olson is a force to be reckoned with. At 6 feet 1 inch, she's a big guard who can dominate in the paint and on the perimeter. She's averaging 19.2 points and 6.2 rebounds per game, and her performance against Ohio State, 31 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists, was just outstanding.
Completely agree. And the comparison to Ryan Howard feels so accurate. Olsen has that same ability to take over a game, whether it's scoring, rebounding, or defending. Michigan's super sophomore class is really something special.
It really is. And Olsen's leadership has been crucial for Michigan this season. She's already had big moments in the NCAA tournament, and I think she's ready to take it to the next level this year.
Absolutely. Now let's shift gears to a freshman who's been turning heads, Aaliyah Chavez from Oklahoma. She's leading her team in scoring as a freshman, which is pretty incredible.
It really is. Aaliyah Chavez is averaging 18.4 points, 3.8 rebounds, and 4.2 assists per game. And her performance against South Carolina, 26 points, 8 assists, and 4 rebounds, was one of the highlights of the season. That was South Carolina's only SEC regular season loss, by the way.
That's huge. And the comparison to Chelsea Gray is so fitting. Chavez has that clutch gene, doesn't she? She's the kind of player who wants the ball in her hands when the game is on the line.
Absolutely. And what's even more impressive is her maturity. For someone so young, she plays with such confidence and composure. Oklahoma is lucky to have her leading the way.
No doubt. And speaking of young players stepping up, how about Jazzy Davidson from USC? She's had to carry a big load this season with Juju Watkins out, and she's done it so well.
Jazzy Davidson has been phenomenal. She's averaging 17.6 points, 5.7 rebounds, and 4.2 assists per game. Her versatility is so impressive, and the comparison to Jackie Young feels just right. She can do it all: score, rebound, assist, you name it.
Exactly, and her performance against Illinois, 27 points, 8 rebounds and 8 assists, was a perfect example of her all-around game. USC has a bright future, with her leading the charge.
Definitely. And it's not just her scoring, it's her ability to elevate her teammates. That's a rare quality in a freshman.
For sure. Now, let's talk about Aubrey Galvan, another freshman who's been making waves at Vanderbilt. She's been a great complement to Michaela Blakes in the backcourt.
Oh, absolutely. Aubrey Galvan is averaging 13.1 points, 3.3 rebounds, and 5.9 assists per game. And her versatility is what stands out. I mean, 16 points, 15 assists, and 9 steals in one game. That's just ridiculous.
It really is. And the comparison to Veronica Burton is so fitting. Galvan has that ability to make everyone around her better. She's a coach's dream.
Totally. And being named SEC Freshman of the Year is just the beginning for her. Vanderbilt's backcourt is in great hands with Blakes and Galvan.
Agreed. And then there's Danny Carnegie from Georgia. She's another sophomore who's been a standout this season. What do you think makes her special?
Danny Carnegie is just a natural scorer. She's averaging 18.1 points per game and has 84 three-pointers this season. The comparison to Jewel Lloyd is spot on. Carnegie has that scoring touch and versatility that makes her so dangerous.
Absolutely, and her performance against Ole Miss, 32 points on 64.7% shooting, was just incredible. She's a key part of Georgia's success this season.
For sure. And then there's Sila Swords from Michigan. She's another part of that super sophomore class. What stands out to you about her?
Sila Swords is such a sharp shooter. She's hit 145 three-pointers in 2 seasons, and her performance against UConn, 29 points, 9 rebounds and 3 assists, was a testament to her ability to take over a game.
Absolutely, and the comparison to Alicia Gray feels right. Swords has that ability to adapt to whatever her team needs, whether it's scoring, rebounding, or defending.
Definitely. And then there's Talia Scott from Baylor. She's had an incredible season, especially considering her past injuries.
Talia Scott is a fighter. She's averaging 20 points per game and has 83 pointers this season. The comparison to Ariki Ogunbowale is perfect. Scott has that scoring ability and clutch gene that makes her so valuable.
For sure. And finally, there's Jasmine Basco from Villanova. She's been a standout in the Big East this season.
Jasmine Basco is such a playmaker. She's averaging 18.8 points, 4.8 assists, and 2 steals per game. The comparison to Jordan Canada feels just right. Basco has that ability to dominate in every aspect of the game.
Absolutely. It's going to be so exciting to see how all these players perform in the NCAA tournament. There's so much talent. And I can't wait to see who steps up in the big moments.
Same here. March Madness is always full of surprises, and with this group of young guards, I think we're in for a treat.
No doubt. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for the great discussion, and I can't wait to see how the tournament unfolds.
Me too. See you next time.
Wake up! Get up! We starting the day!
Let's get into it. Our top story of the day on Coffee Talk, presented by Spotify.
Turn it up! Let's go.
Welcome back to Game Pulse. I'm Marcus Thompson. Tonight, we're diving deep into a topic that has fueled endless speculation and a fair bit of frustration among gamers: The Elder Scrolls 6. It's been years since its initial reveal, and the gaming community is still buzzing with questions. Cast your mind back to E3 2018. Bethesda took to the stage and dropped a bombshell. Not only was Starfield announced, a brand new IP, but also, almost as an afterthought, a quick teaser for The Elder Scrolls 6. This came just weeks after the reveal of Fallout 76, the franchise's first foray into online multiplayer. The simultaneous announcements were a deliberate move, according to Bethesda, aimed at reassuring core fans that, despite the experimental nature of Fallout 76 and the unknown of Starfield, a traditional single-player Bethesda RPG was indeed on the horizon. However, this early reveal, years ahead of any tangible development, has become a double-edged sword, creating immense anticipation alongside a palpable sense of impatience. We'll explore the impact of this strategy. Fast forward to today, and Todd Howard, the venerable director and executive producer at Bethesda Game Studios, has expressed candid regret over that early announcement. In a recent interview, Howard directly stated, "Just pretend we didn't announce it. It doesn't exist. No one has heard a word." This humorous yet telling remark underscores a shift in his philosophy regarding game reveals. Howard prefers to compress that moment from when you hear about a game until when you can play it. He envisions a scenario where the announcement and launch are almost simultaneous, maximizing player excitement without the burden of prolonged anticipation. This preference stems from a desire to manage expectations and deliver a more impactful experience. The long silence following the Elder Scrolls 6 teaser has undoubtedly tested the patience of many, and Howard's comments reveal an internal struggle at Bethesda to balance fan desires for information with the realities of lengthy game development cycles. This strategic reconsideration is a fascinating insight into the minds behind some of gaming's biggest titles. Bethesda's approach to game announcements has clearly evolved over the years, and not always by choice. Historically, titles like Fallout 4 were announced in June 2015 and launched a mere 5 months later in November. Skyrim followed a similar pattern, revealed in December 2010 and released less than a year later. These shorter announcement-to-launch windows built hype effectively without letting it fester. However, the playbook changed significantly with Starfield, announced in 2018 but not released until September 2023, a gap of 5 years. This extended period of silence in development for Starfield mirrors the current situation with the Elder Scrolls 6, where details are practically non-existent. This shift highlights the increasing complexity and scale of modern game development, which often necessitates longer production times. The challenge for Bethesda now is to adapt its communication strategy to these new realities, managing both fan expectations and the practicalities of creating vast, ambitious worlds. The question remains, what is the ideal window for an announcement in today's fast-paced gaming landscape? It's undeniable that fan pressure played a significant role in the premature reveal of Elder Scrolls 6. Former Bethesda designer Bruce Nesmith recounted how fans were coming with pitchforks and torches demanding news about the next Elder Scrolls, compelling Todd Howard to publicly confirm, "Yes, we are going to do the Elder Scrolls 6. I promise you, it's for real. It'll happen." This immense demand from a dedicated fan base underscores the delicate balance developers must strike. Howard also described Fallout 76 and Starfield as creative detours for the company, indicating a departure from their classic single-player RPG formula. He reassured fans that Elder Scrolls 6 will go back to Bethesda's roots and the classic style that we've missed, that we know really, really well. This promise is a beacon of hope for those yearning for a return to traditional, immersive fantasy role-playing. Speaking of immersive experiences, this segment is brought to you by VentureQuest RPG. Tired of the same old quests? Does your adventuring spirit yearn for a truly epic saga? Prepare to embark on VentureQuest RPG. Your journey begins now. Dive into a world where your choices truly matter, shaping not just your character, but the very destiny of kingdoms. Imagine unparalleled character customization, allowing you to forge a hero unique to your vision. Explore vast, breathtaking open worlds filled with hidden secrets and ancient lore. Engage in dynamic, real-time combat that tests your strategy and reflexes. VentureQuest RPG isn't just a game, it's an entire universe waiting to be discovered. It's a solution for anyone craving deep narrative, immersive gameplay, and endless replayability. For a limited time, download VentureQuest RPG on all major platforms and receive the exclusive Dragonheart Armor Pack absolutely free. Don't miss out on this incredible offer. Visit VentureQuestRPG.com today. That's VentureQuestRPG.com. Your next grand adventure is calling. Answer the call with VentureQuest RPG. Now, back to our discussion on Bethesda's future. Despite Todd Howard's assurances, The Elder Scrolls 6 remains largely shrouded in mystery. Details are scarce, virtually non-existent, beyond the confirmation of its existence and the promise of a return to Bethesda's classic RPG style. This commitment to the series' foundational elements is a significant takeaway, especially after the perceived detours of Fallout 76 and Starfield. Fans are eagerly anticipating what a classic-style Elder Scrolls will entail in the modern gaming landscape, given the advancements in technology and game design since Skyrim. Adding to the long-term roadmap, Fallout 5 has also been confirmed by Howard himself back in 2022, though it too is without official details. There's even been speculation from a former Bethesda developer that Fallout 5 might be outsourced to another studio, a move that would undoubtedly spark considerable debate among the fanbase. These distant projects highlight a new era for Bethesda, one where development cycles are longer and strategic planning extends years into the future, keeping fans perpetually on the edge of their seats for the next epic adventure. The Elder Scrolls 6 saga offers a compelling case study into the broader implications of early game announcements across the entire industry. While early reveals can generate initial excitement and signal long-term plans to investors and fans, they also carry significant risks. Prolonged periods of silence can lead to speculation, unrealistic expectations, and even fatigue among the audience. Developers grapple with the desire to inform their dedicated communities about future projects versus the practical challenges of discussing games that are years from completion. Howard's caution about announcing games too early resonates with many in the industry, who prefer to unveil titles closer to their release, allowing for a more focused marketing push and less room for misinterpretation. The balance between transparency and strategic secrecy is a constant tightrope walk. As games become more ambitious and development timelines stretch, the industry will continue to refine how and when it introduces its next big thing. For now, The Elder Scrolls 6 remains a potent symbol of this ongoing dilemma, a testament to the power of anticipation and the patience required from both creators.
Thank y'all so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, happy Wednesday. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. Coffee Talk, powered and presented by Spotify. I want to thank everybody that's tuned in and been loving the show. We thank y'all so very much for that as well. We try to post on our social medias more of Rachel and Sarah and Hope's content on social media too, because this is a show for them too. It's not just my show, it's everybody's show. So we hope that you guys love this episode again. This is the last episode for the week because tomorrow's Thursday and then Friday's coming. We've got those 2 days. Those are going to be very, very busy days. So we're going to end podcast week this week for this episode, but we'll be back for more podcasting next week. Everybody that's watching us on YouTube, Facebook Watch, LinkedIn, and if you're watching on Instagram and LinkedIn, early access tonight, we thank y'all so very much. But if you're catching us at 8 a.m. the next morning, thank y'all as well. And for everybody that's listening to the show on any audio platform you get your podcast from, we thank y'all so very much as well. This has been Coffee Talk, powered and presented by Spotify. I've been your host, K.L.P. Kennedy Lucas. We'll catch y'all in the next episode. Until then, peace, love, and respect from our entire cast and crew. Stay safe, stay swanky. Peace.
We bring in good energy.
This has been Coffee Talk, presented by Spotify. From our cast, we thank you for listening.
Yeah.